Nikolai, do you think you could tell us a little bit about the connections between Perezhivanie and executive function?
Yeah, of course, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Marilyn, for asking. Well, when we look on the research done in the executive function, we can easily find the two main challenges in this piece of research. The first challenge is that executive function is not a separate function. So it's a kind of aspect or result of the whole organization of child's mind, child's mental functions, including emotions, thinking, attention, memory, volition. So an executive function is just only one of the aspects of this whole organization, I would say, the child's mind. So to put it simple, I can give you an example. Everybody knows that different children react differently in the same situation. They show different levels of development of executive function. And this is the fact everybody knows. And this fact reflects that executive function is only one of the aspects of the whole child's mind organization. And this is the challenge. The challenge is that can we find analytical tools which might help us to analyze executive function, not separately as a separate function, but looking on the function through the holistic view on the child. So this is the challenge number one. And challenge number two is, but then I will begin with the example. So again, everybody knows, every teacher, every parent knows that the same child being in different settings shows different level of executive function. For example, in the classroom, children have one level. In a play situation, children show much higher level of executive function. When the child is intellectually, emotionally, personally involved in a kind of situation. So this involvement, this small social situation really shows the different level of development of executive function. And then the question, which of these two levels is really the real level of development of child executive function? From this, the second challenge is that we have to look on the executive function not as a separate function, but not on the child's function, but the function which appears in the certain situation, social situation, social settings. It might be play settings, classroom settings, family settings. They are also integral parts of this system. So, and therefore, in fact, we have two challenges. The first is how to bring the child's perspective to look on the executive function from the holistic child's perspective. On the other hand, how to look on the executive function from the point of view of different situations where the child is involved. So, and these are two challenges. But if you look on these two challenges, we will see that actually this is not two challenges, this is only one challenge. The challenge is that do we have any analytical tools which will help us to combine these two perspectives together, to look at the same time executive function as a child's function and executive functions in the child's being involved in the situation function. And the answer is Perezhivanie. Perezhivanie is this analytical tool which helps us to meet this challenge. But before I come to Perezhivanie, I just want to remind that Perezhivanie is a concept which comes from cultural historical theory of Lev Vygotsky. And before I come to Perezhivanie, just one remark about theory. Vygotsky's theory says that child development is a development from spontaneous, immediate reactions to the reactions which the child can master and control. So the way of overcoming of your own spontaneous reaction is the way of cultural development. This is very general approach, general statement. But Perezhivanie helps us to convert this general statement into the research question, to make it researchable. First, Perezhivanie as a emotional and cognitive living through, experiencing, is a nexus of different mental processes. It includes emotions, cognition, thinking, memory, attention, and will, all together. All together. This is the complex. So if you take Perezhivanie, it means that we take the whole child's mind in focus. And Perezhivanie, therefore, gives us a possibility to analyze the executive function looking from the holistic child's perspective. On the other hand, Perezhivanie, in Vygotsky's word, is a prism through which the child reflects all the social impacts, social factors. Social factors do not impact directly. They go through child's Perezhivanie as a prism which really reflects. So, which means that Perezhivanie shows the dynamic relations between the child and changing social environments. So it's very interesting that Perezhivanie is like a key. We can open these two doors and create a common space for looking on executive function, meeting these two challenges, looking on executive function from the child's perspective and from the social environment perspective. So this is my understanding of Perezhivanie, and I think that despite several attempts to study executive function from Vygotskian perspective, as far as I know, there is no research at the moment which is based on the idea of Perezhivanie, and I really believe that we can do something very, very interesting using this concept and this approach as our analytical and theoretical experimental tool. Yeah.
Fabulous, Nikolai. It's a very complicated area to synthesize into just a few minutes, and I think this has been a very valuable exposition on how those two things are linked.
I did try to do my best, but
very good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.